Yo, welcome to Wiz Loves Cars, and this is the 2022 BMW M50i. All right, y'all, welcome back. And if you're checking out my channel for the first time, go ahead and mash that like and subscribe button and share a video if you like the content. Also, big shout outs to the team over at Weatherford BMW here in Berkeley for sponsoring this video. They've been super professional and easy to work with. Today, we're gonna be talking about the BMW M50i, and I'm gonna be talking about the exterior features as well as some of the interior features before we take it on the road for a test drive. So stick around to the end to find out if this vehicle is worth the $82,000 price tag. This X5 has a 4.4 twin turbo V8 that puts out 532 horsepower and does 0 to 60 in a little bit over 4 seconds. The EPA estimate is 16 city, 22 highway for a combined 18 mpg, which isn't bad for this boisterous all-wheel drive V8. The exterior color is a metallic Arctic gray complemented by 21-inch rims with the blue BMW performance brakes. I think this was a great attempt at a practical luxury performance SUV that'll be fun for the kids, but even more fun for the adults driving it. So next up, we have this black grille, and there's more that meets the eye to this grille. So this grille actually opens and closes as a mechanism to cool the engine. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, that's cool, but it's also dumb. Like, how does that work? So if you're driving at a high rate of speed, it actually closes to avoid the opportunity for road rocks and debris and things like that to actually hit the radiator and damage the vehicle. So I think that's pretty dope and a great design concept from BMW. You also have these nice high beams here that you have the automatic high beam with the BMW. So if you're driving in low light or no light conditions, those will kind of pop on and give you a better visibility. If you upgrade to things like the executive package, you'll get laser lights, and those will pierce the darkness a little bit more, so you'll be able to see a lot further when those automatic high beams cut on. And then moving on down, you have this front camera right here that's gonna aid to that 360 view for your parking cameras. And then right below that, you have this sensor, and that's gonna be used for the BMW driver assist, which is BMW's version of their self-driving technology. And I think that's pretty dope. And I'll spend some time right here and talk about this little grille. So this little grille, if you look behind it, it actually opens and closes as well too to cool the engine. If you look to the left-hand side here, you'll notice that this grille is blocked off, but this side of the grille is open. So this is gonna be another air intake to cool the engine. And I'm not sure exactly why. I was doing some research trying to figure it out, but I'm not exactly sure only the right side is open versus the right and the left. But if anyone knows, go ahead and drop it in the comment if you're a BMW nerd and you know the answer to that question. So I think this is pretty dope, and it kind of gives you something to look at. This is like a nice grille setup and a nice brolic look on this BMW M50. Again, before we move along, I just want to take a nice look at these crazy rims. They also have this M badging on here that's pretty cool. You'll find M badging around this car. So there's M badging on all the wheels. There's M badging on the steering wheel, on the door panels, on the interior. There's also an X5 badge back there. There's an M badge on the back of the vehicle as well. And then it's all complemented by this piano black trim that I mentioned before. So you have the piano black trim here, all around the different door panels, the roof rail, and it really just gives it a nice aesthetic. And going to the side view mirrors, you have the turn signal indicators that are here, and you also have cameras that are on the side view mirrors as well, because that's gonna add to that 360 field of view. It's gonna collect all of that data for the driver assist package with the BMW self-driving. So all of these things work in tandem with each other to make this a beautiful, crafted SUV. Now, let's walk along to the back. All right, so here at the back of the X5, the star of the show are actually gonna be the lights. And the lights on this are phenomenal. I think it really complements the design of this vehicle and it gives it a nice look. Down below, you have the powder-coated tailpipes, or the finish is powder-coated, so that looks really good as well. And it sounds really nice when you start this thing. And I'm telling you, this thing purrs like crazy. And then you have the liftgate. So the liftgate actually opens in 2 sections. So the first section that opens is gonna remind you of the standard liftgate that you would see in any other vehicle, except for when it opens up, there's gonna be a lip at the bottom that I'm actually sitting on because it's folded out. And the top part of the liftgate is gonna be automated, that you can open whether manually or you can open it from your key fob. The bottom section of the liftgate is going to be a little bit more manual on this model due to the chip shortage. So it is supposed to be automated as well, but due to the chip shortage, it isn't for this model, but that's totally fine. There's plenty of room. If you actually look into the back of this X5, there's so much room back here. I would say one vehicle that I would compare this to in terms of the amount of room is the GLE 350 that I actually just reviewed a few weeks back. So pretty comparable in terms of room. This liftgate is a nice added feature. You can sit on it, you can slide luggage in really easy, all of those different things. So that just kind of, everything complements each other from that. And then down below to the rear, you have some storage that's underneath the cargo floor, and you can use that for a spare tire if you actually have one, and if not, you can probably use it to store additional items that you may be wanting to carry. So the cool thing about the cargo floor area is that once you actually open it, it's hydraulic, so it'll continue to slowly open and you don't have to exert any effort to actually open it. So I think that's pretty cool. Haven't seen that on any other vehicle so far, so I think that's a dope design concept. And then lastly, you have the privacy cover. So the privacy cover is back there, it's detachable, and you can use that if you want to just hide things, privacy. And the seats fold down, so that's going to give you some additional cargo room as well if you want to put suitcases back here, be it big suitcases, small suitcases, lumber, whatever, like go crazy. You can literally put whatever you want back here because there's so much space. Let's move on to the interior. So here on the interior of this X5, I want to say it's beautiful, and there's so many different things to talk about, but I'll just go in chronological order. So first up on entry, what you have is the Harman Kardon sound system. So you have that kind of embedded into the door, and it's 16 speaker that's all around the car, and it's going to sound really great when you're listening to music. There's this seat setting here on the door that's pretty cool as well. So you can actually press this button and it has the number 2 on there, and that means it's for the passenger seat. So when you press that, you can actually configure the seat settings for the passenger seat from the driver's side by just pressing the buttons here on the actual seat settings. So I think that's pretty cool. It kind of took me back when I saw that. And then you have a bunch of carbon fiber accents on the interior that really give it a nice sporty look. And then you have some suede that's on the interior of this vehicle as well. So the suede is going to be all over the roof and the side panels on the interior of this vehicle, and it just gives it that nice luxurious feel to it, and you feel like you're riding around in something presidential, something executive, something that's going to make you just feel like you're somebody else when you're in here. So you also have this ambient lighting, and the ambient lighting is cool. It's configurable. Right now I have it on lilac. You can change the brightness of it as well. So I think that's pretty cool, and it kind of gives the user or the driver of this vehicle the ability to configure this to their standards and however they want them. Then looking straight ahead, you have the digital dash that's also configurable. It changes a bit as well too when you change the driver settings. So essentially when you're in Sport, Comfort, Eco, Pro, the colors on that are going to change and it's going to look a little bit different. You also have the maps that are going to be there, and directly in front of me you have this infrared camera, and that's going to be there for the driver assist package that's on this vehicle. That's going to pay attention to me. You'll still have to touch the steering wheel for the driver assist package, but that's there to make sure that I'm paying attention to the road, and also for features such as making sure that I'm alert and active while I'm driving, so that way it'll chime if I'm not paying attention or it feels like I'm veering off the road, and all those different things. Moving on down to this leather wrapped steering wheel, it feels really good. It's really sporty. And on the left hand side, well, before I go to the left hand side, on the right hand side you have the standard audio controls. You have your paddle shifters and those things. And then here on the left-hand side, you have the driving control. So this is going to be your cruise control and those things. And then you have a button here that has a car and a steering wheel on it. And that is going to be for activating your driver assist. So you'll see that. And then there's also a mode button there as well to the right of that button that essentially helps you with all of those different options that you have for your driver assist. And when it's activated, you'll see a green steering wheel on your dash, and that'll let you know that the driver assist is active and it's engaged. Right above that, there's a little wheel, and you can press that to increase your speed. So you can increase by 5 miles an hour or 1 mile an hour, depending on how you actually tap it. One other thing that is really cool is the heads-up display. So the heads-up display in this vehicle is pretty cool, and the reason why is because you're able to adjust it. So based on your seat position, based on your height, based on kind of how you're looking ahead, you can adjust it to make sure that you can actually see it. And this also comes in handy when you have polarized sunglasses on, so you're still able to see your HUD while you have those glasses on. I know typically it's in some cars it's pretty difficult because there's not really too much adjustments you can make with that. And next up we have, well, before we move on to the infotainment screen, there's M badging on the steering wheel. The steering wheel is also heated. So again, a lot I can say about the steering wheel, but it's just dope. And as we move on to the infotainment screen, once you get to the app screen and the infotainment screen, it's pretty cool. And this infotainment screen is compatible with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and it's wireless. So you got that. And then you have the gesture control, right? That's pretty cool. That's a nice little party trick if you got people in the car and you want to do something cool and turn up the volume and turn down the volume and things like that. It's really nice, right? All you got to do is just twirl your fingers like this and you can make some magic happen. So you could be like David Blaine up in here. The next thing I'll say about the app screen on the infotainment system is that you have apps like Park Mobile, where Park Mobile is essentially an app that you can use to pay for parking. So all of your vehicle information is already embedded into that. Most people have it on their phone if you're in a city that has Park Mobile, but this has it so you can literally just pay for parking from your car. So that makes that super convenient. All your car information is there. You have a driver recorder that is sort of like your built-in dash cam, and you can actually access that either on screen or by holding down the video button or the camera button that's down here in your center stack controls. Right after that, you have automatic window, which is pretty cool because it uses your GPS location combined with places that you've frequently rolled down your window, such as tolls or parking structure. And when you get there again, it remembers that and it will roll down your driver's side window for you. Then you have carrying car, which I think is one of the dopest of all the features. And let me explain that. So let's say that you have a near miss on the road and you're stressed. Carrying car will activate and it'll play soothing music and turn on the climate control and blow some cool air on you just to relax and de-stress you so you can continue to drive and be on your merry way at peace. And then the last thing is experience mode. And experience mode is pretty much just more of a setting where you can have, you know, soothing music and just some different ambiance while you're driving in the car. And there's some different settings on there just to kind of get you in different moods and get you in different modes. So it's kind of like more of like a wellness setting, if you will, while you're driving in the vehicle. All right, so down below the infotainment screen, you have your climate control settings. So you have multi-zone climate control in here. So you could have summer on one side of the car, you could have winter on the other side of the car. So everybody's happy when they're sitting in here. So the one thing that I want to point out that's pretty interesting is the heated and cooled seats. So there's a button here like normal that you would see in most vehicles, and you press that, but you have to toggle the heated and cooled seats on the actual screen. So if you want to switch to cooled seats, you would basically change that setting. If you want to switch to heated seats, you'd have to change that setting on the screen, and you can set that to 3, 2, 1, off, on the actual screen, and it will remember the last setting that you had on the screen. So when you press that button again, it's either going to be heated or cooled depending on the last option that you selected. Down below that, you have just some of your memory settings and more of like your you know, music settings and audio settings and those things, and a little tiny volume knob here that you can use. But typically most people are going to use the steering wheel audio controls. Right below that, you have this storage section where you have some cup holders, 12-volt charger, USB outlet. You have another storage compartment to the right that you can use for change or little knickknacks or candy or what have you. And then on the left-hand side, you have this wireless charging pad that's kind of tucked away. It's kind of weird to get your phone in and out of there, but I think it's fine. It does the trick, but you definitely won't be able to see notifications on your phone. Not that you should be looking at them anyway, but you definitely won't be able to see them based on the way it's constructed. Down below that, you have your shifter, you have your off-road settings, your hill settings, your auto on off, your start stop engine button is down here, and then all of your drive mode settings are here as well, along with the auto hold and then your emergency park button. To the right of that, you have your media controls, your home button, your maps, and then you have this turn wheel here that basically helps you navigate the screen. So you can use that to navigate the center infotainment screen. It won't help you navigate the actual dash. So it only works for one screen, which is fine. And just kind of going back over to the dash really quickly, there's a button here on the left-hand side of the steering wheel on your turn signal that says BC, and that stands for board control. So when board control is on or when it's activated, you can see different vehicle settings such as your RPMs, you can see your G-force and audio settings and different things like that. So it's there for, you know, if you want to just do some different configurations and have some different visuals on this configurable dash. So I think that's pretty cool. Storage wise, you have plenty of storage in here. There's a storage compartment here on the left hand side that you can put your keys in or put anything that you want. I think I used to have one on my X4, but I think it's gotten bigger since then. So I really appreciate the fact that you have this storage here for the driver and for the driver only. And then you have this armrest, which is heated. You can get it heated in one of the packages with this vehicle. So I think that's pretty dope. And then that just kind of pops open. You have some additional storage in here, and then there's a USB-C outlet in there that you can utilize as well. The last thing I'll talk about before we head on to the back is these seats. These seats, they're comfortable, they're luxurious, and they just kind of hug you. They have some really good lumbar support, and there's this part here that kind of comes out. I usually, on my old car, there was a button that you pressed on the bottom of the seat and it would pop out, and I would use that on road trips to just basically have a little bit more stability and a little bit more support. But what they did now with this X5, it's actually embedded into your seat control. So there's a button on top of a button, and then all you do is you press that, and then your seat will start to kind of flex out and you'll have more support under your legs. So that'll come in handy for those longer road trips. And if you lean back and you just look up a little bit, you're greeted by this nice panoramic sun roof. And it's a roof, boy, I tell you, it's so nice. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about. That's what we're dealing with in this X5 right now. And it's just giving me nothing but luxury. Let's head to the back. As I sit back here in this X5, I think it's pretty roomy back here, but I will say that if you have someone that's taller that's sitting in front of you and their seat is a little bit further back, it's gonna rob you of some leg room, and you're gonna find your knees are gonna be a little closer to the seat than you might like. And I'm 5'9", so I'm good right now, but with this seat all the way back, my knees will actually touch the back of the seat, which I don't know. I feel like when we were in the GLE 350, there was a little bit more room in there. I'll let y'all be the judge. And at the back of this seat, you have a couple things. So you have this USB-C charging outlet. So if you're sitting back here, either on this side or this other side of the rear seats, you can charge your devices. There's also a little spot back here that you can use, and you can slide that to the right. And what you can do there is you can mount your devices. So like if you have an iPad that you want to mount, or if you have the screens that come with, or that you can option up to with this X5, you can actually plant those in back there, so that way the kids can have something good to watch, or even the adults. And Down below that, you have some behind the seat storage. I think this is well done, actually. I think in my previous BMW, there was a net back there, but this is pretty slick. It's like a little file cabinet, right? It just opens up and it retracts back automatically. You have that on both sides. And moving to the left, you have this nice vent that's embedded into the door column here, so you don't have to wait on this center climate control area to basically blow some cool air on. You can kind of get it from both sides. So you can get it from the left side here, then you can get it from the right side, and then you can also set the climate back here as the passenger. So I think that's really good that you have control of your own destiny where climate is concerned as you sit in these rear seats. And down below the climate control settings back here, you have this 12-volt charger, and then right above that you have the shelf. So typically in most vehicles, the shelf or the little storage shelf that's there is not very deep, but this one is pretty deep where you can literally fit a whole phone in there and not have it sticking out. So I think that's pretty cool. And if I'm looking over at the left side of the door, you have this manual sunshade, so you don't have to, the windows are also tinted, so you don't have to really worry about a lot of sun and UV light getting in, but this also helps, right? So it blocks some of that UV light and it makes you feel a lot cooler. I think it's cool too because if you put the windows down, you know, if you get the little buggies, they won't hit you in the face. So I think that's good. And one last thing I'll talk about before I raise up from back here is the armrest. So the armrest is dope because it's like a Swiss Army knife in a sense. So you can rest your arm here. You can press a little button to let out the cup holders that are back here. And then there's another button that you can press that creates another storage area. So you can fit some little items back here. I don't know what you can fit back here, but there's plenty of room and it's pretty flat that you can store some items back here. And again, can we talk about these seats though? I feel good back here. It feels really nice. The only downside to the seats, I will say, is that they don't recline. So you're kind of just stuck in whatever seat position is back here. So whether you slouch or whether you lean back or sit up, you're kind of just stuck with that. So you can't recline the seats at all. However, they do fold down, as I mentioned before, but they just don't recline at all. Other than that, nothing really much to talk about back here. I do like the silver accents that are all throughout the vehicle. You can see them in the front, you can see them back here on the door handles and everything like that. But let's take it for a drive. All right, so we're in this X5. We got Devin from the sales team. What's up, Devin? Yeah. We got Ryan in the back. He's always in the videos anyway because he always shows up on the rearview mirror because I have this camera mounted to my head. But so far, yeah, y'all hear that? That's that. Ooh. Cross the street, please. Hey, I got that look. I got that look. Oh man, it was just a little acceleration test, but I wasn't going that fast. Let's be real. All right, so yeah, this X5 really, it handles actually really well, and we just got to test out the braking just now, so that works very well. So those nice blue brakes that you see in the video work very well. It's very fast, like it accelerates really well. It has a lot of power. Like you can really feel the V8 when you step on the gas. Like I'm literally sinking into the seats when I'm pressing the gas. The seats are super comfortable too, so like when I'm pulling off, like I just sink right into the seats. Like there's so many different seat settings that you can have as well. I just found out that you can actually adjust the upper part of the seat and kind of have that tilt. So if you have bad posture or you need help with your posture, I think these seats do a good job of helping you out with that. The steering wheel is super responsive. Yeah, I'm loving this so far. Ooh boy, what are you doing? You tripping, bro. You tripping, bro. I mean, Devin, bro, like, what are your thoughts on this? Like, how you feel about it?
This is the perfect family car if you want speed and size.
Not the family car.
I say so.
You think so? Okay, all right. I mean, it's fun. I did say that earlier. I said it's fun for the kids, but even more fun for the adults driving it.
Exactly.
I would say so. I would say so.
You know, you get a family, you have to get rid of the sedan. It's the perfect one. You can have your fun, still have the size. So this is,
okay.
This is a fun one here for sure.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah, you got. I mean, you got the carbon fiber. You got the ambient lighting, and then I mean, well, while we're here, we're talking about family. We just talked about braking, all of those different things. Let's talk about safety. So, I know this has the lane keeping assist. Yeah. It has the forward collision warning. Yeah. It has blind spot detection, lane keeping assist, and then I think it also has this feature where if you have someone in your blind spot and you're driving like over 40 miles an hour, it'll basically keep you in the lane, right?
Yeah, steering intervention.
Steering intervention. Yeah, that's it. Steering intervention.
It's pretty cool. So I'd say lane departure warning more so. Like if you would like to have fun in your car, you might want to turn that down a little bit because it can be a little strong.
Yeah.
How you're driving, but it is good if you're on like long road trips. You know, always at the wheel, it will correct you. Same with the blind spot detection, that steering intervention. If you try and jump over or get into another lane, somebody doesn't want to let you over, it'll pull you right back in if you don't catch it. So
nice. See, yeah, life's okay. We got safety, we got the speed, we got the fun, we got all the technology. The next feature that this X5 offers is the driver assisted package. So that's BMW's version of their self-driving technology. And as I mentioned before, all you have to do is hit this button here with the car and then the steering wheel. And once you press that, you'll see another menu pop up. And then all you have to do is hit mode and then switch that over to assisted driving. And you should see the steering wheel turn green, and then that's how you know it's engaged. It's not engaged right now just because we're on a a side street, but it's something that's gonna basically kick on just like autopilot on the Tesla when you are on the highway and you're at a higher rate of speed. All right, so the ride is really comfortable. I would say it's literally driving on a cloud is what I would say this really feels like. So I think it's like the correct balance of luxury, performance, and comfort. I think all of those three things converge on each other really well with this vehicle, and I really like it. I would say that, you know, if you got $92,000 just laying around and this is something you want to grab, I definitely think this is a good option. But other than that, I think it's just pretty solid. I mean, the price point is a little pricey, but again, you know, I see y'all driving around in these Teslas and what else we got? Audis and all of that. Like, I mean, look, hey, the price is going up for everything. So the price is the price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Wow. And look at the handling. Look at this. I'm one-handing it right now, and it's just hugging. I feel like I'm back on that track in Vegas. Hugging. And I didn't even open it up too much. But that was perfect. Like, I think that was like a perfect depiction of what this can do, how quick it can accelerate, and the handling. Like that, it felt like this car was like an extension of my hand. Like it's like a glove. Just smooth. And we are back. All right, if you own an X5, hit the comments, let me know what you think. But other than that, I'm loving it.